Greetings, travelers, and welcome back for part 2 of setting up a Minecraft server. So in the last episode, we talked about just the basics, getting the mods in, getting the server up and running. Today we're going to talk about some of the server properties that you can change and what they will do. That way you can fine-tune your server for what you want. Now keep in mind, again, we're covering strictly a Forge server, not a Cauldron, Bucket, or Spigot server. And we're not going to necessarily cover every single setting. We're just going to kind of cover some of the more basic ones. But there's still going to be some that'll help make a change. So you'll see in front of us right now, we have the server properties file. This is generated on the first load up, and this generally has the defaults for Minecraft. Now, some of them are self-explanatory. Announce player achievements, true. When people get an achievement, does everybody that's on the server know? The level name, what it's called when people look at it. This is very basic information. Now, some of the ones you're going to want to look at for specifics are level type. If you're using a mod pack that has a special world generation mod, like Biomes of Plenty, most of those mods will also tell you what to change the level type to. In the case of Biomes of Plenty, it's BOP. There's Realistic World Gen, which is RWG, I think. Might change. But this is where you're going to want to make that change so that when the world first generates, it gets the proper, if you're doing a fresh world, not a pre-generated map, this will help make sure that the map utilizes whatever world generation mod. Now, level seed, if you have a specific seed that you want to use, you'd put that here so that when it generates with the level type, it's going to use that seed to generate. Server IP is primarily used, you can leave it blank, and then it's not going to matter, where it's running. If you put the specific server IP in, one of the main things that's going to happen is that the server won't start if the IP that it's at does not match. This is also going to be for people connecting. It's kind of an important feature. I'm going to go here. Give me a second here. Go here. So you're going to want to set this if you want to bind to a particular IP. If you're on a server that gives you a static IP, one that does not change and it is only yours, put that here for a little bit extra security. Otherwise, that's going to be left blank. Most times it'll be left blank. You can also put the server port, which you don't see here, so it tells Minecraft what specific port to look at or listen to when people are trying to connect. Whitelist. If you only want people that you invite on the server, you're going to want to set this to true. This means that nobody can join the server without you adding them to the whitelist or as an op. Some of these other ones you'll see Snooper enabled and let's see, enable Archon and Query. Those are for doing things like remote, when you see people that have images that show their server status online, how many players. Those are some of the settings for that. Another important one that gets missed, enable command block is by default false, or not even in here, which is default false. This is an important one if you have some mod packs, some minigame packs. If this is false, they won't work. You need to set that to true. Game mode is self-explanatory. What game mode is default on the server when people connect? And in line with that, you can do force game mode. So if somebody, say, tries to join in creative mode, does the server let them stay whatever mode they're in, or does it force that mode? So, if you don't care, leave it false. In case of some servers, true might be what you want to do. So that way, anybody that connects is automatically forced to go to whatever game mode you set, which is creative, survival, what have you. Player idle timeout is 0, meaning that they never get timed out, but if you have players that go AFK, you can use this to determine how long they can be AFK before they are kicked from the server. A couple other important ones. Max players, that's the maximum number of players that a server is allowed to have. You set that. Most servers have enormously high numbers of servers allowed. Kind of determined based on the mod pack or mods you install and the server statistics like memory and CPU availability, how many players, but that's where you're going to change that to determine what that number is going to be. Spawn protection is the area that's around the player, or the spawn area, which everybody's familiar with when you first spawn in a new map, what the default number of chunks that are protected so that nothing can, it's a basic type of protection. Typically it means no mobs will spawn in some cases. It also determines whether on a server some people can break certain items or use certain items. Now, one of the more advanced techniques, message of the day. Most people, just type something there. But wouldn't it be nice to have something colored like here? Some of you may not know how to do that. So, those of you that do know, Minecraft has formatting codes for colors of the letters and text. With a server, it's handled a little differently. It's not that weird character with a number. On a server, you're going to use some different formatting codes. And I will try to remember to put that image up here. I will put links in the description below that shows you, or can take you to get the information. But this is done with specific codes. So some of the basic ones, and I'll show you a couple right now. Give me a second. Let's go here. Where is that at? There it is. So let's say we wanted that same text, a Minecraft server, but we want it blue. The code on that is going to be 0, or the /U00A71. And there's a whole list of the different color codes, and again, I'll put the link in the description for that. But using those codes for color and for formatting, you can do all the little fancy things you see right here. Basically what they've done is each letter, they've put a new color code so that each letter is a different color, and gives it that special flavor of having a unique message. Now you'll need, some of these will have an icon even. Now that one is something you don't handle in here, but when you're creating a server, you're going to want to put create a special image. Alright, so the special image name, it's got to be a PNG format, but I'll put that right here. It has to be titled this, server icon PNG. And it's got to be a 64 by, I believe it was 64 by 64 image. And then what will happen is the server will automatically read that, and that's what will display, like there, as the icon for the server. Kind of gives you a way to stand out if you're a particular mod pack, or going to use a particular mod pack that's popular and have lots of different people that will join. Having an icon will help you stand out versus those that don't use the icon or use the default Minecraft icon. So, there's definitely that to keep in mind. A couple other things to point out. Difficulty, that's, peaceful, normal, or peaceful, easy, normal, hard, or hardcore. Difficulty 1 is, if I remember correctly, 1 is easy, 2 would be normal, 3 is hard. You can double check on your own to make sure, but that's how you're going to set how hard the mobs are, just like you would Minecraft, but on the server level. So that's going to be pretty much it. Those are, some of the server properties is probably the most important part. If you want more information as far as commands, just do a search in, say, Google, looking for Minecraft server commands. The Minecraft Gamepedia website has a wealth of information, and that's one of the links that's going to be below for the formatting codes, as well as a link directly to a full explanation of all the different settings that can be in a server property. But hopefully this helps. I know there's been a lot of people trying to set up servers, having questions. So hopefully the information between last episode and this one will be enough to help you figure out what it is you need to do for that server. But that's going to be it for today. And you guys, thanks for coming by, and have a great day.